First Ministers agreed today, and again I thank them for this, we agreed today to develop a national trade and energy corridor strategy. For transportation, for energy, for critical minerals, and digital connectivity. And so the agreement is to turn what has been a concept into a reality that will diversify and strengthen our economy. And to make that concrete, the federal government, my government, is acting now in several ways. Let me begin by saying that we are committing to remove all exemptions, all federal exemptions, under the Canada Free Trade Agreement. We're introducing a new First Mile Fund to provide capital to build transmission and transportation networks to link extraction sites to existing rail and road networks. In other words, if you think of a critical minerals project or something that's away from an existing network, linking them in can be decisive on the economics and whether they get built. We are creating a one-window approval process. We are committing to table legislation by the 1st of July for goods to travel across the country barrier-free or free of barriers, of federal barriers. So we're combing through all federal legislation for those barriers. We intend to, from a federal level, to have free trade by Canada Day. We are going to remove any labor mobility restrictions for federally regulated professions. We will eliminate federal duplicative requirements by recognizing provincial assessments for major projects. This is so-called mutual recognition, so one project, one review. And we will work with the provinces and other stakeholders, Indigenous groups, to identify projects of national significance and accelerate the time frame to build them. And I'm proud to highlight a few of the major projects that the federal government, again, to make these words real, what we've moved on today to advance. The Cedar LNG and LNG Canada in British Columbia. Investments in Port of Churchill in northern Manitoba. To ensure Indigenous participation, or to promote Indigenous participation, facilitate Indigenous participation, we are expanding the Indigenous Loan Guarantee Facility to $10 billion. That's doubling. And what this does is it unlocks capital for First Nations, Inuit, and Métis to invest in equity of projects, in other words, to become owners of, co-owners of projects, in order for those projects to be built quickly and sustainably. We will keep working with our provincial partners to build out national interest projects that cross interprovincial boundaries so they can be prioritized and accelerated. One project, one review. It's time to build. Now, some examples of potential future projects, and this is not an exhaustive list, but you look to the Ring of Fire in Ontario in partnership with Indigenous peoples. Ports like Grays Bay in Nunavut, which links down through the Northwest Territories and into Alberta, and Le Port de Montréal. The Second Narrows in British Columbia, which frees up additional exports. And very importantly, action, not words, but action on carbon capture and storage. These projects would build on recent progress that we've made on high-speed rail between Quebec and Ontario, an integrated electricity system for Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Nous avons une occasion unique de développer rapidement ces corridors afin qu'ils soient efficaces, résilients et tournés vers l'avenir. Our vision is one where goods, services, and workers can move seamlessly from coast to coast to coast, d'un océan à l'autre. By harmonizing regulations, by enhancing labor mobility, we can create that truly open and one Canadian market that Canadians are demanding. That will reduce costs for our businesses. It will increase affordability for our consumers. It will unlock new opportunities, higher-paying jobs for Canadians. Je suis convaincu qu'en travaillant ensemble, nous pouvons développer et bâtir une économie canadienne plus interconnectée et plus résiliente. Because Canadians are strongest when we're united. Choisissons de bâtir un Canada fort. Merci beaucoup.